Bruno, hopefully everyone's watching. You're a world champion. Better tune in there. But if they're just doing the audio, maybe they'll get this joke. Hopefully you get this joke. Bruno, I'm in Austin, Texas. You're in Midland. You got people from all these exotic places in the world. They could be anywhere in the world, and you got them in Midland, Texas. Bruno, you must be good. Who goes to Midland?
So yeah, I joke that like you come to the middle of nowhere, right? And then like I tell them like you guys don't gonna see an ocean or a lake or a mountain, but you guys gonna have a good jiu-jitsu.
Is there anything better than a trip getting ready? Nope. For a long journey where our podcast released a new epi, searching for a fade fiend, new fixation. Giving this a subscribe is the same sensation. Started with the day ones, they gave us fuel to support the season. Could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here for a reason. Notification bells, text some friends, all to let you know. Check your Bluetooth, connect, talking with Donato.
Welcome in, everyone. Episode 179. We're going to talk about Bruno with our guest, Bruno Bastos. Bruno, it's a holiday weekend. How busy are you? Something tells me you're just laying around, sleeping on the couch all weekend. Is that what you're doing today?
Of course not, sir. First of all, thank you, Donato, for the opportunity. Yes, holiday weekend, but life doesn't stop for anybody, right? And I think it's a major opportunity to be here, so I want to thank you for that first. It was a busy weekend, even though it's the holiday. I have a group of youngsters preparing for the World Championship that's coming up now in California. It's Sunday, we're leaving on Tuesday. A lot of stuff to get done, but we're here because life doesn't stop for anybody.
Bruno, there's so much I want to get to. Let's go back to what you just said. You got some kid they think and you think are the best in the world. Bruno, you said that so humbly, but if that was me, I don't know. I'm pretty excited just hearing about it. How does that kid get to the point where they say, I want to fight in a world championship? Or is that something that you as an instructor kind of pull out?
I think it's important to mention that that's something I've been doing since I was 10 years old, right? I'm 44 now. So I started to teach when I was about to turn 18, so I was 17 to 18 years old. And I think being a competitor, high-level environment with like world-class results helped me to turn into a coach that could help some of the youngsters to try to reach their dreams. Yeah. So I will have people here from Midland that, of course, that like I live in Midland, Texas. So I have some people here from Midland, Texas that are training for me, but I have people that have moved from other towns to train here in Midland, Texas. And for me, there's some things that like if you stop and things are a little crazy, bigger towns moving into Midland to train here. And I have people that have been experiencing just the training camp here. So I have people that have been here for like 6 to 10 weeks, depending on the time that they got here. People from Brazil, Bulgaria, Australia, from other parts of the United States. Right, and then I think they see the results of the comparison they're training here in tournaments. We connect somehow in tournaments or in seminars because I'm teaching seminars all over the United States, all over the world. Make those connections as well, and people feel connected with the energy that I put, the style of teaching, the style of coaching, the mindset part. Again, go back to the results because I have a saying that men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie, right? So they see the results and then they want to be part of, and then I think that's why we've been growing on that sense. On the beginning it'd be just people from Midland, and now I have people from other places of the world coming here to train. Excited to see them trying to accomplish their dreams, right? So I pretty much is it. Like, so I think they see the opportunity of making their dreams into reality training here with me and then my coaching staff. And that's the beginning of everything. And then like the idea of being world champion is great, but the process is the hardest part because not everybody is willing to commit to the whole process. What I tell of them when they come here is that I cannot promise any results. I can promise that they're going to be prepared, right? But end of the day, the most important thing that I tell them, like, I want to see how much that experience being here gonna impact their lives for the future. Because maybe some of them gonna follow the career in jiu-jitsu, some of them gonna follow career in other thing, or how doesn't matter what they choose to do for the rest of their lives. the experience here, I want to make sure that the experience can impact them and that they were always going to try to achieve the highest level possible in whatever they want to do.
Bruno, I am for those who hopefully everyone's watching because I mean you're a world champion. They better tune in there. But if they're just doing the audio, maybe they'll get this joke. Hopefully you get this joke. Bruno, I'm in Austin, Texas. You're in Midland. You got
Hmm.
people from all these exotic places in the world. They can be anywhere in the world, and you got them in Midland, Texas. Bruno, you must be good. Who knows the Midland? Like, so
Yeah,
man,
I joke that like you come to the middle of nowhere, right? And then like I tell them like you guys don't gonna see an ocean or a lake or a
oh,
mountain, but you guys gonna have a good jiu-jitsu.
Bruno, it sounds like, in my opinion, when I think about what you're doing out there, I want to come out there now. Then, but
You should.
when I think about what you guys are doing, in my mind, I'm thinking of I think it was Rocky 3 when he was going to fight the Russian. Like y'all are in the middle of
Rocky
Siberia,
Four,
like
Rocky Four. Yeah,
Rocky
Ivan
4.
Drago.
Check you out. Yeah, okay. So that was 4. Okay, man, I need to watch it again. I love that. But this is my favorite one. I feel like it's that. Like there's a training montage there in the middle of nowhere. You got them jumping over tumbleweeds. This seems like it's the Shaolin Temple, the Bruno Temple. Do they have to fight for food and they stay up until maybe 6 p.m. at night and then you make them get 12 hours of sleep and train? What's it like? It seems so exciting.
Oh, like they do have like a full routine here. They do have 3 to 5, 6 sessions a day, Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
And then that not just jiu-jitsu, that can include yoga, that can include the strength and conditioning training.
Yeah.
Yes, like I do have like a great program, but I have a great team with me as well. My wife Petra, she's a judo black belt. She was a judo and Russian sambo world champion.
Whoa.
So she runs the judo classes, and then some of the competitors, because of their weight classes and styles, they do judo as well during the training camp. Um, I have a strength and conditioning coach, Jared Jones, with the Eat to Fight program. So he does their strength and nutrition protocols, and then they follow all that during the training camp. I have Chloe Newton, that is the yoga instructor, and then 2 to 3 times a week, like we get with her, because it's so hard to like do every session that they have to do, and then she like stretching on the end and all that. So
Yeah.
in the yoga, like they can work on not only on the stretching and flexibility part, but like the breathing part, the control. Um, so because I believe that's very important. So and then I have Professor Felipe Ferreira, that's like part of my coaching staff as well. Because I travel a lot for seminars and stuff like that. So he always fills in every session that I'm not able to be in. So like I think it's important to mention all those names, all right, because they're a big part of the program.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much it. Like so they have 3 to 5, 6 sessions a day if they're gonna do privates or stuff like that, Monday to Friday, and then Saturday they have one session. Saturday they have one session that's a longer session where we try to simulate more the tournament, and then Sundays off. Then Sunday nobody do anything. So like today, for example, they some of them went to the pool and then went to the mall, hang out, because I believe that it's very important for them to have that part as well of the mental aspect where they like unplug from jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
because even though they're all youngsters living their dreams everything, but it is a stressful situation because you think you cannot fail, you think you cannot let people down, like you think all those things, right? So because of that, also during the training camp, I brought here Gustavo Dantas. He's one of my best friends, and he's a world class black belt, world class coach, and but he has a mental skill program. Is the BJJ mental coach.
Yeah.
So he came here as well. So he had a mental skills training. So I mean, I just make sure that there is every part is covered. And then again, I think that's why people also can see the results, because maybe my name is there on the building and then like and everything, but it's never one person like alone that does everything, right?
Yeah. Bruno, what if this sounds really cool? I'm a dad. I got 3 kids. I just can't run away and come out there, Bruno. Although you're tempting me, but I got a question. What if we don't want to leave? What if those kids call their parents and say we don't want to go home? We want to stay here.
I don't know. We have some of them talking about how like they can, and that's how it started. Like, so a lot of people that they come here and then they attempt the possibility of moving here, right? And then like, but then how to be the logistics, like how to make money to pay bills, like jobs and all that, right? Uh, but for me, that's really not a problem. For me, that's like shows that the work that's being done, being working, not just, and again, not just go to the results donated. Like for me, it's very important, like how um those life experience can impact their lives for the better, because the truth is not everyone going to be a world champion, right?
Yeah.
In every single division there's just one gold medal, right?
Oh,
So if you think about, the normal result is to lose for anybody,
yeah.
right? Right, you can be a returning world champion, but guess what, maybe this year someone else gonna do a better job on that day, and then like let's say the bracket has 30 people. So 29 people go home not being world champion with their dreams crushed.
Yeah.
It's just the truth. It's just the reality. But how, like I like to say that we have a winning culture, and a winning culture is not winning everything, is trying your best every day in everything. So I'm very like strict with them, like make sure that they follow everything. I like to say that I'm the annoying parent, right?
Yeah.
Uh, but I have no problem with being the annoying parent. My children, they do change this as well. I have a 10-year-old boy, an 8-year-old girl, and then they do train as well. Like my son actually completed today 7 years of training, even though he's only 10, because those Facebook, Google memories. So I have the post there, so I saw that.
Yeah.
And then my daughter, same thing, training since she was 3, so she's 8 now. She's been training for 5 years.
Wow.
All right, so that's what they've been doing their whole lives, and then uh, again, end of the day is how I think any sport can give you a lot of lessons. But speaking specifically of jiu-jitsu, I think it is a huge tool to personal development. And then I truly believe that when you compete, when enhance that potential of personal development, because I believe also jiu-jitsu is a form of self-expression,
Yeah.
right?
Say
And
that.
then like every decision you make in jiu-jitsu can be just like doing a round at the gym, like rolling with your friend. But every decision that you make have a consequence, and that consequence can be good or bad based on your decision,
Yeah.
and then how you deal with that. So even for the little kids, right? Because we started our program at 3 years old. So even for the little kids, they gonna like at early age, like learning how to deal with that. Like, oh, today my friend, like, oh, he got on top and I couldn't get out, and then I cried. Like, but that's life,
Yeah.
right? And then we have until students that are over 70 years old, and so I think that for me is the main thing, the personal development, and that's why like I praise for them a lot, like how that experience can impact their lives. And then I think because of those connections that we build, I think they feel comfortable with someone uh that truly cares about them, not just wanna. I feel like a lot of athletes, people just wanna squeeze like their juice for the gold medal, like they're orange, and then you just like when you don't give me that gold medal anymore, they're not good anymore, right?
Yeah.
So, but for me, it's beyond that. So for me, it's beyond jiu-jitsu, like how that can impact them. So, and again, like some of the the names that I mentioned, like they are part of that, and have other names, right? Like professor like James, Lara, Joe Castillo, Emily Ferreira, like they're all part of the program, teaching like all the way from fundamentals classes, no gi classes, women's classes, and everything. So I'm very fortunate to be in that position and to have, I believe, the right people around me as well.
I don't normally do this. I know this is really rude, Bruno, but I'm gonna text my wife here. I'm gonna tell her, honey, I am moving to Midland. Uh, you can
Well,
come if you want. Send. All right,
be
no, I
careful.
sent it. I sent it. You said that you make decisions. It may not be the right decision, but you got to live with these. I sent it. I'm on my way, Bruno. I'm
Yeah,
on
but
my way.
your kids, they train jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah, so I have two kids that are training currently, and
Mm-hmm.
I even like that what you said that starting at a young age, I think it's key. I'm a youth
Mm-hmm.
sports coach, and I got some kids, Bruno, that if they strike out, it's the end of the world. They
Mm-hmm.
want to go jump off a bridge. Now, there's nothing better than, and I won't say any sport is better than the other, but when y'all are getting into fights every day in jiu-jitsu, that is a great life-changing moment because someone made you tap. You just lost. You just gave up your
Yeah.
back. Every day that happens, and you have to rebound and then fight again in another two
Mm-hmm.
minutes. I wish more kids did Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. And I'm not just saying this because I grew up, I did karate, I used to teach Kung Fu. I have a martial arts background, but we don't get in the fights
Yeah.
7, 9, 10 times every practice like you guys do in Jiu Jitsu. And I love it. I wish
Mm-hmm.
most of the kids that I coach, I wish that they could be doing that because they're not all that tough. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to blame some parents, but I'm also going to blame um, society because it's not like Bruno. Growing up here in America in the 80s, I got to tell you my age, but growing up here, when I joined karate, you bowed to your black belt. Yes, sir. No, sir. There was no running around. There was no goofing
Mm-hmm.
off. You don't do kicks and you don't throw each other in headlocks until it's time to do that. And you
Mm-hmm.
sit still. I served in the army, and it's just like standing at the position of attention. You don't move until they tell you to move. Karate was
Mm-hmm.
like that. Kung Fu was like that. So I'm old school. I wish it was still like that, Bruno.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I wish it was like that.
Yeah, but like it's not. I say that as well, but I also like it's not just like the kids for like society has moved into that direction through the years, right?
Yeah.
Then like so we receive the participation trophies, like everything that comes with, and then so that's why I try at my school to like give the best life experience possible,
Yeah.
especially like for the kids, right? Because like again, like you said, like not talk about which sports better than other or anything, but like jiu-jitsu is one of the few martial arts where you can truly go 100% at each other and not hurt.
Yeah.
We cannot kickbox spar at 100%. We
No.
cannot box spar. We cannot like karate spar at 100%.
No.
With jiu-jitsu we can, and that makes it personal as well a lot of times
Yeah.
because we can be the best friends, but on that moment that you're choking me, like it's, it's personal. Like you're gonna feel like it's not, but it is, right?
Yes.
And then how do I deal with that? And then on the next, and then like when the round is over, how do I treat you after that?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when the class is over, how we hang out on the waiting area now. So and then on the weekend, like, oh, like now is my birthday party. Am I want to invite you for my birthday
Yeah.
party?
Yeah.
Uh, like so, like that's why I'm talking about the personal development. So I even do have like a mentorship program inside the jiu-jitsu program, that have like some of the kids, and then like, and the focus is not yes, we use jiu-jitsu, but the focus is like how they can excel on and off the mats, right?
Yeah.
So again, it's all about how that those life experiences can impact the kids.
Uh-huh.
I would like to. We're here on the middle of the podcast, but I still like to, even though it's the middle of the podcast, but invite you to bring your kids to see, like, especially now going to be summer, right? Summer vacation, like no school, so maybe easier to make a little drive to the
Uh-oh.
beautiful and
Uh-oh.
green and ocean
Oh,
everything Midland, Texas.
oh no. See, Bruno, I'm glad again, uh, viewers, I'm glad y'all know this is virtual because I gotta tell a world champion, Bruno, I'm coming on no vacation to Midland. Well, no, no, it does sound exciting. Seriously, I, 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 I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to be able to plan this fast enough. This is so exciting to hear, and not to mention, Bruno. I had my daughter, my oldest. She met a an Olympian, a U.S. Olympian in judo, and
Hmm.
she also did samba like your wife, and some of the things that she said to my wife to my daughter still resonate with her to this day. We got a poster, she signed it, it's on the wall, and they only met one time, and my daughter is still focused and motivated off of what that lady said and how she trained. Because the other thing, Bruno, as you know, everybody's not good with kids.
Yeah,
Everyone's
that's
not a
important.
good. So if you're a good coach or mentor, and you can have things that kids will remember, that you make this fun, because somehow, Bruno, you make kids get ground into the mats, choked out, maybe even tear up, but they keep coming
Hmm.
back. And I thought I was a good youth coach, but I'm going to say, and I've never seen you coach, I'm going to say you're better than me. that's
I
that's
don't
so
know.
exciting that
Nah,
you can do that.
like, uh, I believe having started as a kid helped a lot.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, because I was 10 years old when I started to train. I really believe when you leave the sport, like you start leaving the sport as a kid, and then like when you adult now in a coaching position, like you can make connections easier and faster with the kid because you know how it feels,
Yeah.
right? And on my coaching staff, for example, for the, especially for the kids program, every coach and or assistant coach, they have started as a kids, right?
Oh,
Often, some of them they start on my program, right? Like Emily and Vanessa, they start on my program as a kids. They went through the ranks on my program. They won like huge tournaments for kids, juveniles. Now they are young adults. Like Emily's a black belt, Vanessa's a purple belt, and they are in teach positions on my program.
wow.
So I think that like is very important when you have people that they have lived those experiences, so they can connect with the kids. Like and all the other instructors, like Felipe, Patrick, Cassia, all of them they have started as a kids, right? And then we have different backgrounds. But Patrick, he came from Houston area, and then we came like we have Felipe that have come from Brazil, but from Manaus, like from like we call the jungle boy, right? He came from the
Yeah.
Amazon. So and then so he's 23. He started when he was 4 years old.
Wow.
So he has like, and then you have Casa that has come from Rio de Janeiro, and then like from one of the social projects that I support. So she came from a totally different background, right? So
Wow.
and you're gonna have like that, like those kids like Emily and Vanessa growing up here in Midland, and then you're gonna have like Patrick like Houston area, and then you're gonna have Felipe from Manaus, Casa from Rio, and then like how much culture like you putting together now. Everyone with like not everyone is the same, but for if you have a group working together, they at least have similar values and similar beliefs, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then make that energy so good for the kids that they truly like I always tell them how important it is to them to understand that they are the kids superheroes now, right?
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
And like I always remind them that don't forget when you're on that kid spot where your instructor was your hero, right? Because the one thing that I never forget. So every instructor that I have had in my life, I talk to them until today. Because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have fell in love with jiu-jitsu to the point of making jiu-jitsu my living, right?
Yeah.
Um, because I didn't start jiu-jitsu and fell in love with jiu-jitsu. I was 10 years old. I started jiu-jitsu and I fell in love that I have friends.
Ah.
So
Yeah.
I want to go back.
Hmm.
People ask how was my day because I didn't have friends in school. Like I was just like a skinny kid. Like nobody. I had no friend. Like now, my wife said that I'm a social butterfly. Before jiu-jitsu, like very introverted. So jiu-jitsu like really changed me, right? And so I remember all those things. So I see when a kid like doesn't want to talk, doesn't like is introverted. I see all those things, and then I think all the coaches like Emily, Felipe, Patrick, Cassia, Vanessa, they can see those things because they have seen all those things like also since they were kids, right? So I didn't fall in love with jiu-jitsu when I started. I fall in love with having friends, with having community, to feel that I belong to something. That I
Yeah.
feel that like like I was wanted, I was needed, like and going to tournaments and then like I can win and then like that makes me feel so good and then like I wanted that feeling again. And
Yeah.
then my coach telling me like like you can do that. And then because how important is for you to hear like you can do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you don't hear that like all the time, right? So every show that I have had, um, and all then are masters, all then like coral bells, like Marshall Wendell, that's the one that promoted me to black belt. Beforehand, I had Master Ayuso Brits and Master Nuri Gomez, and then like all of them, like I'm so glad that I have them all my life. I'm so blessed that I still can talk to them and have that relationship with them because I know how important they were for me. And I think that's why I was saying that about like how much those life experience can impact those kids and then teenagers and young adults. Because like some a lot of times in life and then like you have like being like true to a lot of things, right? Like you're gonna have those persons, they're gonna be key on your growth,
Yeah.
you know. And so like that's why I think uh we're trying to make him in Texas.
I have so much. So bear with me here. Okay. So I want to go back to I told you I did some martial arts. I played some sports, so I know it's different. But let's
Hmm.
just say this. Let's just say this. I ran track in college, right? And I didn't win every meet, but I was a very successful runner. So a if I am a Brazilian Jiu Jitsu student at your studio and the last three tournaments we went to, maybe I took second place.
Hmm.
I'm still on the podium, but I didn't win the whole thing. But right now I'm training for worlds. Where do you look at achievements when it comes to that? Because I'm telling you, Master Bruno, Sensei Bruno, I want to go fight for worlds. I know I
Hmm.
haven't won gold in these last few, but I want to go fight for worlds. What's that conversation like when I'm not winning every single tournament, but I think I can. I have the confidence. What would you say?
Mhm. Well, I always remind them that like, so if you're like Donato, you have like 17 years old, you're going towards as a juvenile, right? And then like your last three tournaments you got silver. I'm gonna remind you that those tournaments were just preparation for the world championship. They are not the world championship.
Oh,
You have got gold before, so you know what is to winning. You know
yeah.
what winning feels like. But then the preparation for worlds, because you're gonna peak at the world championship,
Ah,
right? So how many times you're gonna see Olympians that, because the good thing about jiu-jitsu is they have world championship every year,
yeah.
right? But Olympics are every 4 years. So how many times you're gonna see Olympians that during the Olympic cycle they are like first, fifth, third, second,
Yep.
seventh, and then like, but at the Olympics, when like, and then they make sure that they qualify for Olympics, but the Olympics is when it matters, right?
Yeah.
Of course, you can see those extremely dominant athletes that win everything all the time. But if you really think about they, those are like less than 1%.
Yes. Yeah.
Like it's like if you talk about judo, for example, like Kayla Harrison, right? And I'm fortunate to have met her personally. Like we're part of the same sponsorship, so we have done cruises to teaching people together and like all that stuff. So Kayla Harrison, she's two-time Olympic champion. She's now in UFC and everything. So two-time Olympic champion, but the only American to ever win an Olympic gold medal in judo,
Yeah.
and one of the only uh, few people to have won two Olympic gold medals in judo, like in the whole planet Earth history.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she cannot be the standard.
Right. No, you're
She
right.
makes sense.
Yeah.
So like, but most people, they're gonna like go ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs, and then like, but knowing when to peak, and that's I think that's very important in sport. Understanding how to work on periodization where you peak at the right moment,
Hmm.
right? So like, and for that I have a specific guy for that as well, Italo Villardo. He does that part for me, the periodization on the mats, because I do have I did went to school and all that, but again, nobody can do everything alone. So I think when I can delegate responsibilities and then people can help me, so I can focus just on the athletes,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because I cannot do everything,
Hmm. Yeah. I see
right?
that.
So I think that's very important. That's why you see, like, let's say you're like NFL, and then you're gonna have the head coach, but you have a whole coaching staff,
Oh, yeah.
defense, offense, and then this and that, and like, so it is the same. I think because I have lived a lot of stuff in jiu-jitsu, have experience connection with athletes from different sports, and I like to study other sports as well. I like to read coach biography from other sports, and I make analogies to jiu-jitsu, and I bring those things because jiu-jitsu is still so new, right? And I bring those things to jiu-jitsu. And because at the end of the day, when you're coaching, coach can be a lot of different stuff, and it's still coaching.
Yeah.
So it's how you manage people,
Yeah.
how you
You.
manage how you manage different personalities.
Yeah.
So I cannot coach you and then coach like Jenna that's here. Like I know that she comes from the same school where your
Yeah.
kids train. I cannot
Yeah.
coach you and Jenna the same way because both of you are two different persons
Hmm.
with different personality.
Yeah.
Maybe with her gonna have to be more incisive, like more aggressive. Maybe with you are gonna have to be more calm, and then maybe with Felipe gonna have to be more harsh, and then like everyone is different.
Yeah.
So inside the same system of training, I have to have the sensibility of understanding each personality and then instead of that, apply what they need to accomplish their goal. So it's not my goal, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just the instrument that's there to help guide them.
Hmm. Man, you actually had me like the first sentence because you made me look at it. I was giving it an example, but I kind of took it on and I couldn't wait for the answer. But you're right. Those other silver medals that I got in the World Championship, and you
Mhm.
said you could help me peak. Like you already got me, Coach Bruno. Man, I said I'm ready. I'm all ready. I didn't
Mhm.
really for our viewers. I didn't actually send the text to my wife. It was just a joke there, but we,
But
we may have to have a conversation when I'm done here. We may have to. All right. So what about this? What about this? Were you good at 10? I know that you said that you liked to be part of something, you made some
Mhm.
friends, but I mean, you're a world champion, man. Like, what kept you in it long enough to get good? I mean, I don't know if you were the person, you were Usain Bolt at 10 years old immediately. You probably got
Mhm.
your butt kicked a butt. You said you were skinny. So
Mhm.
let's just say a little thicker guy, a little tougher, stronger guy smashed you for a bunch of times until you got the size you got now. But what happened when you were at 10 to get you to 17 and then 25?
Yeah, so that's like another story, right? So like when I was 10 years old, my dad and my mom, they were separated, right? So my mom put me into jiu-jitsu. Like for 2 years I begged her to train judo because I saw a Brazilian judoka, Aurelio Miguel, winning the 88 Olympics. It was the first gold medal for Brazil ever in judo.
Wow.
So I was like watching Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris, like, oh no, that's not a movie, that's a real life, right? So I want to be like him. So I want to be a judoka. And then for 2 years, we didn't have judo schools around. We were in a hard financial situation because dad and mom were separated. So then she saved some money and then put my brother and I for to train for 1 month. So I remember like was like yesterday, like we go for the first class on Wednesday, and then end of the class, the coach like talking about like the upcoming house tournament that was going to be on a Saturday, and then he said he asked anyone have any questions like, oh, can I compete? Like, that was just my first class. And they're like, no, no, kid, we gotta wait. So, anyways, so but I am not, I believe I annoyed him so much that even though I did only 2 classes and then I went to the tournament, my third day just was a tournament, right? That of course I lost, right? That of course I lost. If you, I won 1 match and I lost 1 match. If you ask me how I won, I don't know. My arm was just raised. If you ask, if you ask how I lost, like I don't know. They just the other kid like I didn't know what's going on, right? Um, but why am I saying that story? Because then I went to another tournament. It's still inside that month, and then I got silver medal, right? So like I was skinny, but like strong, athletic, right?
Oh,
And then on my third tournament, I remember that was my father's weekend. So he
yeah.
took us to the tournament. And then
Oh,
mom of course was there as well, right? So he gave us a ride back. I won the tournament.
oh, I was gonna say you can't lose in front of your dad.
Yeah. So I won the
That's
tournament.
cool.
So he gave us a ride back home, and then and he stays overnight. So on my 10-year-old mind, I'm like, well, if I win a tournament, my dad and my mom will stay together.
Oh,
And
oh,
from that point on, Donato, like I didn't lose a tournament. I don't even know how long it took me to lose another tournament.
oh my gosh.
Because and then like so is that's that's why I said there's another story. And then like so later on when I was in college doing physical education, and then I had a grade that was like psychology of the growth and development, and then so I met a teacher on that, and then like I start understanding a lot of things that I did as a kid.
Yeah.
Because like 10-year-old, 11-year-old, I was like, man, if you're 10, 11-year-old and you compete against me in a tournament, I'm sorry. Like, I'm gonna do everything that I possibly human can to beat you because I believe that's gonna keep my dad and mom together.
Wow.
So I
Oh,
think
that is
like I think that even though I wasn't like maybe like a lot of times I didn't maybe I didn't have the same knowledge or maybe I wasn't technically as good as the kids, but the drive of believing that
yeah.
I need that, you know,
Yeah.
and I think until today you need to have a drive and a belief in something.
Yeah.
And one thing that I tell my kids that I am proud of how I have always bet on myself, you know. But like that's like 10-year-old Bruno. I don't think like I was like my son is 10 now, right? If my 10-year-old son would fight me at 10-year-old, I think he would destroy me.
Whoa.
He's much better than I was,
Uh-huh.
right? But like man, I just had that drive, and I think, and I don't think like because I think it's guessing, right? Like I know that later on, like when I study all this, the psychology part, and the I know that they made difference on me like striving and then accomplishing uh, things already at the young age. And then when I was 15 to 16, I made the decision that I want to make a living of jiu-jitsu, not knowing how it would look like because then I'm talking about 1995, 1996. And then like didn't have the market that it is today. Back then was like Rickson Grace and Royce Grace winning Vale Tours, and then like the market was like you become a black belt and you defend jiu-jitsu in a Vale Tudo, right? So really,
Yeah.
I had no if I tell that like I imagine like what I am today and what I have like the studio, like the school, right? Like, everything like I didn't know it would be like that. But so that was the beginning of like how little Bruno start and then what was little Bruno's drive to try to win the tournament.
You said earlier that your wife uh, fought sambo and she's a black belt in judo. So I gotta ask this question. Hey Bruno, do you get
The black
smart
belt
with
in
your
jiu as
wife
well.
and jujitsu?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Now I gotta
Two-time
know.
Pan American champion.
The rest of us, yeah, my wife's not in here. Bruno, I say whatever I want to. Yeah, okay. I say whatever I want to my wife. I ain't scared of my wife, but can you get smart with your wife? Or do you have to
I always say that I make sure I'm stepping on the line every time because if I step out of the line, she can throw me. I always say that. I always make that joke.
yeah, that's scary. I feel like I mean if there's anybody that can get you, it would be her. She can catch you at any point and take your back. So you kind of have to watch what you say, in my opinion. I feel
For
like
sure.
that. Okay, how about this, Bruno? When I was in college, I started the Kung Fu Club. They
Uh-huh.
didn't have anything there, and I started teaching. But a lot of the guys didn't want to come because I was taught traditional Chinese Kung Fu, and you really had to focus on your forms and your body awareness. Guys used to come to me and they just wanted to know how to do the cool Steven Seagal stuff,
Hmm.
breaking arms and doing the Bruce Lee stuff, and I wouldn't teach them that. So I ended up being I was a Tai Bo instructor, is what I like to tell people, because
Hmm.
a lot of girls came and they didn't want to know about the fight and stuff. They just wanted the Thai box and the kickboxing workout, and I gave
Hmm.
it to them. So for you, what happens when tough guys walk in and you could tell he's a tough guy or she's a tough gal, and they just really want to know how to beat up everybody, but they don't really seem like they care about anything else but how tough they could be after they learn. What do you say to that?
I don't have to say anything because Jiu-Jitsu has the power of humble you at any
Mhm.
day, at any session that you go, right? And then we do really have a great environment. There's affirmation,
Yeah.
right? I really believe that we have a great environment where like people of all walks of life are gonna be there, and then like you get educated inside the environment,
Yeah.
right? And we do have um by levels, right? So if you start have never done jiu-jitsu, you're a tough guy, and then like you're strong, you do CrossFit, and then you have wrestling high school, whatever, like, and then you go there, but you're gonna have to do the fundamentals program. And on the fundamentals program, you're gonna learn all the foundation of jiu-jitsu, and then like not having rounds yet. You want to make sure that you like really have understanding of how to move your body, of how to move your body with other person's body,
Yeah.
all those things. And then now you have to do a test to go to intermediate class level. And then on if you pass on the test, now you go to intermediate class level, and then now you start have like a full sparring like rounds in jiu-jitsu, right? And then but like maybe you're like 200, 220 pounds, 230 pounds, like physically strong, but then you're gonna have a 140-pound girl that is a world class black belt, world class brown belt, that if you try to muscle them, they're gonna triangle you, they're gonna armbar you, they're gonna take your back and choke you. So I like to say that you just take care of itself. Like you don't have to.
I see that. I mean, that's yeah, that 230-pound dude, he's emasculated. Yeah, you're right. He's not coming back.
Yeah, so
He's
like it's not like so, but people get educated inside the environment,
yeah,
and they see that that's what uh our school is not about that. It's not how tough you are, how tough you are. It's how good you are. And I say how good you are. I'm not talking about how good jiu-jitsu. It's how good a person you are to be on that environment. And then if you're not a good person, and then like my challenge is like get you into like a good person. Like
yeah,
if you just want to be tough, it's like how can you like not be selfish, but like get like I don't think selfish is a problem. It's good to be selfish because you. I don't know a single successful person that's not a selfish about something,
yeah,
but like how to be selfless as well,
yeah.
right? So like because there is a moment for everything. Emma, I didn't say there is a moment for everything because I didn't say balance because I don't believe in balance. You're always on there, right?
Yeah.
So
No, you're right.
when people say like, "Oh, I gotta balance," like I don't believe in balance, right? You always focusing like in one thing or the other, and then like you make decisions. What's your focus at the moment?
Yeah.
You prioritize, and like and knowing that what you're not prioritizing at the moment, maybe you're gonna struggle a little bit,
Hmm.
like later on, but that's life decision making.
Yeah.
So like I think that's like when you get inside or school, you get like for a lack of a better term, like educated inside the our environment, and that's why I think make us so unique, right? Like I was like say like I said winning culture, and I put like set yourself apart. So like that, I think that's what set us apart, what makes us unique. Really trying to help people to develop as a human beings, regardless of at what age. Like I'm like I'm nowhere near to perfection. I'll never be perfect, but I know I can always improve. And so I'm always looking to improve myself in every aspect, like as a husband, as a father, as a sensei, as a mentor, as a friend, as a son, like so it's everything. So I think knowing that I'm not perfect, and then all the coaches have, they're all like we have like same values and beliefs. So I think that's what makes us unique, and I think that's what like make us be able to have that the tough guy, tough girl coming in, and then make them feel a part of something that's beyond that, that's bigger than that.
I got one more nice question, and then I'm going to hit you with the hard question. I told you this was
Mhm.
going to be easy. We've been having some laughs, but I got a question that's it's going to be divisive. But let's
Okay.
start with this first one. Uh, do you think BJJ is ever going to be in the Olympics?
No.
Why not?
Uh, they have a limit of sports, right? And they already have martial arts, and their martial arts they are similar to jiu-jitsu. Like they have judo, they have wrestling. On the wrestling, they have freestyle and Greco-Roman. You
Yeah.
know, um, and be very honest, I don't like the idea of jiu-jitsu to be Olympic sport because that include politics. So
Ah.
if jiu-jitsu not being Olympic already has politics, imagine being Olympic. And now you talk about like government money, like Olympic committee money, like,
Mhm. Yeah.
and then some countries like very corruptive with like the athletes, like or how athletes like win and stuff, and they show like they should be paid and not paid. And I know a lot of stories in Brazil. My wife is Bulgarian, so I know a lot of stuff from a lot of like stories from Bulgaria. I have affiliates in Mexico, in Finland, so I know people always tell me. Like, so I really enjoy the fact that jiu-jitsu is not Olympic,
Yeah.
and I really enjoy the fact that jiu-jitsu is getting more and more like professional as far as like athletes being able to be a full-time athlete and be paid for their skills, like in a championship tournaments or super fights. So I really prefer that way, like gi, no gi, with different formats, mission only, points, like ADCC, like all the I really enjoy that way because I I believe that's much better than having to deal with all the politics that Olympic sport has to deal with.
Yeah. Okay. I see that. All right. For the tough stuff, the tough stuff.
Let's go.
Um,
Ready.
Sensei Bruno, which country has the best BJJ fighters?
So the best just competitors. In a gi is still Brazil. Um, because it's like even it's a new sport, but like it started coming to United States slowly, 80s, 90s, 2000. Now, like we have all the growth, right? And then
Yeah.
another countries in Europe, and then you go like Australia, Japan, and then everything, Canada. But I think it's still far from. Um, you see, like a lot of countries have good results on the collar belts. You don't see a lot of countries have like you have athletes like winning and or medaling on a black belt level,
Yeah.
right? But is it still like I believe that it's still gonna take a couple of years to that scenario change. On the no gi though is different, where it's very divided. We have the a lot of Americans, we have some Europeans, that some Australians, some Canadians. We have even Fionn that's from Wales, um now Luke Griffin, South African, like now that on the Nogi have more diversity, and I think we have more diversity in Nogi because Nogi you mix more other styles, and that's why people call grappling, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that because Nogi uh, in United States, Americans start do good in Nogi because I have the wrestling culture as well. People
Yeah.
start invest more in Nogi, and then I believe here in the United States you always invest, like people always invest, like companies go always going to invest where they have idols.
Yeah.
So jiu-jitsu does have some idols in a gi, but they have more idols in Ogi. So
Mm.
that's why companies like Flow Grappling and UFC Fight Pass, and then like they'll like everything is no gi, right? because how you gonna sell a market where United States doesn't have idols, doesn't have a superheroes?
Yeah.
So yeah, we do have people from other countries, but like we do have Americans as well. So that just makes sense, right? So I think that's why the gap in the nogi is much smaller. And I'm not really, I don't believe there is a gap. I think it's a very divided. Uh, and then if it was like a team tournament between countries now, if it wasn't like in a grappling scenario, nogi, I think like United States could win,
Oh,
right? I'm not saying that would win, but I'd say that could win. If you
yeah.
could give the best from Brazil, best from United States, best from like each country,
Yeah.
that would be like a event that Brazil could lose.
Hmm.
You know, so I think that's the it's not a hard question. And then like go back for like all most of the best athletes from Brazil moved to United States to teach jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So it just makes sense. People getting really good here because they train with some of the best athletes.
Hmm.
Trains sometimes train with some of the best of all times, right? Because there's another thing unique of jiu-jitsu. You don't gonna get the phone and then like, hey LeBron, can you teach me basketball? Hey Jordan, can you teach me basketball?
Yeah.
Brady, can you teach me football? But you can be on the same mat as Gordon Ryan, can be on the same mat as Roger Gracie, as Xande Ribeiro, as Fionn Davis, as Bia Mesquita, like so that's something that's unique of Jiu-Jitsu. I just had here the whole week Luana Alzoguia and Ana Vieira, the two of the best of all times. Luana is IBJJF Hall of Fame. She's a ADCC World Champion. Ana, she's gonna be on ADCC this year, and then she's a future IBJJF Hall of Fame. And they are here, and the machines were training for them like every day. And then the youngest that are going to the World Championship are like training for them every day. Um, well, like no, like anything. They're doing the train with them.
Yeah.
They're doing the train. Like I don't wanna get like, hey, Donato, let's call like LeBron and let's go play ball with him. We just don't gonna do that. We don't
No.
even have the access
Nope.
to do
No,
that.
you're right.
Maybe if you meet someone that's millionaire, billionaire that has friendship with LeBron, and then happen that one time LeBron is with that person, and then we are there, and then we
Yeah.
get to take his hand, and
Yeah.
that's the end of the story. That's it.
Yeah. No, you're right.
So that's unique in jiu-jitsu. So I think that makes like because one thing that I love in the United States is how they do invest in sports, and then again because like the necessity of idols when they start having idols and then invest more and more and more and then bring more like qualified people to teach, right? And
Yeah.
then now we do have American idols.
Well, I was trying to cause some problem. I thought a certain black belt in a few styles from Bulgaria might get mad at you if you answered that one wrong.
No,
I'm trying to get you choked out. I don't know why I'm doing that. Okay, this is the last one. I guess that one didn't make you uncomfortable. I thought
no,
maybe because I know you know people from a bunch of different countries, so I thought it'd be a hard question for you. How about this one then? What style makes the best UFC fighter? Strikers, wrestlers, BJJ people, Ronda Rousey when she did have a run with her judo background. So how about that? Will that be hard on you? Who do
no.
you think makes the best? And I know that's something totally different, but I'm sure you watch UFC. What
Mhm.
style, what do you think makes the best UFC fighters?
Of course, we're gonna go with the grappling, right? I think if the person has a really good combination of wrestling and jiu-jitsu, that person, man or woman, has a huge chance of being successful. Of
Yeah.
course, they have to understand the striking. When I say understanding striking, it's not like knock someone out. It's like understanding distance. That's what for me is like understanding striking, right? So when I can get in, when I have to get out, when I can close the distance, when I shouldn't close the distance, when I have to move away, when I have to go left, when I have to go right, when I cut the angles inside the octagon, because the octagon is different than a ring, right?
Yeah.
So that I think if the person has a really good combination of like grappling, like either judo, jiu-jitsu, judo, wrestling, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, like maybe all three together, like, and then have sambo as well, like, so like grappling overall, if the person has a really good grappling, like that include takedowns and good ground control submissions from top and bottom, I think that's really good. But you're gonna see people like have the outliers, right? You're gonna see people like Alex Poitin. He has like, I don't know, like 12, 13, 14 fights total in his career. And then we're more than half now have been for like UFC like titles, like on UFC, like are two division champion. And you don't even see him, like you see him defending takedown or like defending himself on the ground, but you don't see like a refined like wrestling or jiu-jitsu. Like he's pretty much just surviving to them, like kickboxing people, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The Adesanya, like same thing, So is for me the I think the story and the history of MMA says that um a really strong start grappling based with understanding of striking, they have more tendency to be successful. But there are like some special strikers, and we can go back to, for me, the most I don't want to say like who's the best of all time, because I think that's so unfair. And then I think it has different eras of MMA, and
Yeah.
MMA is like even younger than we talk about jiu-jitsu, like MMA even younger than jiu-jitsu.
Yes, it is.
But I would say the most probably the most spectacular fighter, like let's put at least in UFC, because I have other events as well, but at least UFC would be Anderson Silva, because like you cannot, the things that he did, when he did, how he did, against who he did,
Hmm.
right? So and then uh striker, and then we can go like and you can add, of course, a lot of people talk John Jones being the best of all times, but I'm not saying who's the best of all time, but like he's very spectacular as well.
Yeah.
And go back, how he did, against who he did, when he did. I mean, and until someone proves something wrong, he's still doing it,
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
right? You'll see, like I'm an MMA fan. I like to watch, and then like every time that has like a show on the TV, like, and I like to buy the pay-per-views, like I like to watch. So,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna go with the grappling. It's solidly like Khabib style,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Or
Yeah.
George St. Pierre back on his time,
Hmm.
BJ Penn on his time.
Oh yeah.
Like we can go back to all the way like Hickson, Royce on their time,
Yeah.
like Minotaur, like Big Nog back on the Pride era, Fedor Emelianenko. So
Two last questions. Because you are who you are, can you enjoy movies that the rest of us like Bloodsport with Jean-Claude Van Damme, and
of
you know
course,
so you can sit back and
of
just enjoy that.
course,
Yeah, there you go.
of course.
Uh,
How not to enjoy?
okay, all right. Well, because sometimes you could say, well, that's not real, or that wouldn't work. So I'm just wondering
Maybe it's not real, but it's art, and then like I think it's so nice because it's cliche, but it's nice, and then like the hero, the villain, and then like and it's man, I love that.
great, great. I was wondering if it was different for guys like you, but I'm glad you're like us, that you could enjoy it.
No,
Uh,
I do.
the last one. How do for some of my listeners, this is the first time they've heard of you, and for some of your followers, some people that know you that you'll send to this network, they may not be following you, but how can we follow you on, do you have a website, on social media? How can we stay up and learn more, follow, see what you're getting into?
Not like I think Instagram is the easier way to connect and follow me. Like I do have like Facebook. I'm still active there. I
Yeah,
do have like the former Twitter, now X, right? That's like I have
yeah,
more like to see like news. Like I don't post. I don't tweet
yeah, yeah,
a lot of things. But Instagram is the one that I'm most active, and then like you reach out to me through Instagram, and I'm
yeah,
very good on responding. Anyone all the time. Like sometimes people asking about like jiu-jitsu questions or like mindset questions, like anything that I can help, right? So Bruno Bastos BJJ is like at Bruno Bastos BJJ, like easy
yeah,
to follow, right? Uh, and then I do have my school like Instagram, that's Bastos underline Jiu-Jitsu official, and then the association that's lead underline BJJ, like on Instagram as well. But like those accounts, I do have access, but I'm not the one that controlling the accounts.
yeah.
My wife does that part for me. So really, on my personal one is the easiest one, Bruno Bastos BJJ, and then you guys can follow me there. You guys can reach out. You guys can tag. Like I believe I'm a very easy person to connect and to talk with.
Oh, you got my vote. This was fun. I mean, we knocked out the hour, just flew by. And- But you know what? I like it when I got a little meat left on the bone. Maybe I can have you back. Maybe we can do a little
Yeah,
forum.
definitely, definitely.
Bruno, I covered a lot. Was there anything that you wanted to, maybe you wanted to talk about, you wanted to offer, any last minute words you wanted to get in? Because maybe I didn't take it that way. Was there anything that you wanted to add for anyone that's listening or watching?
Um, don't be afraid to ask for help,
Oh, yeah.
and any kind. And then the logo of my association: live every day to achieve your dreams. Right?
Oh,
I was
yeah.
just a 10-year-old boy in a third world country. I had my visa denied on my 20s. Being invited for ADC twice. I had my visa denied 4 times.
Wow.
You know, uh, I didn't like dream to leave in United States, but then once I was uh, finally able to have my visa, because all I wanted is to be part of the biggest competition. The biggest competition were here.
Yeah.
So when I finally came and I started coming in, compete, go back, and then eventually I have the opportunity to move here, right? And then now to have, so again, it's a 10-year-old, third-world country boy. Now in the biggest country in the world with a beautiful school with two med areas, like from 3-year-olds to 74-year-old students, like men and women, um, like have been traveled the world, like being like, I would have to stop and count how many countries I have visited because of jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
and then be able to have my children experiencing that, my children be like with people from all walks of life, and then that like adding so much for my wife and I, raising them, be around good people, be connected with people that have achieved like a lot of stuff in life,
Yeah.
people that are not their dad and their mom, so they can see like, oh, like people can do that, and like so that's why, like I say, live every day to achieve your dreams. Like whatever dream that's good that you have, you know uh make sure that you try your best every day to accomplish. Will not be easy, but that's why not everyone is successful. However, if you have the winning culture that I said, of set yourself apart, of doing your best everything, doing your best every day in everything, even if you don't accomplish, you can put your head on the pillow like in peace, because you know you did. what you could, right? You have no regrets. So that's it. Don't be afraid to ask for help. If it's for mental, if it's like sometimes financial, like anything, and then make sure to live every day to achieve your dreams because that's your dream. And I really believe that only a dream can kill a dream.
Ah, Bruno, if I wasn't a fan, I am a fan now. I'm telling you, you're an amazing guy. And some of the things you said, I mean, you got this old guy wanting to come out of retirement, get back into martial arts. And
Oh, hey, make that drive. We will work on it.
yeah. I know I made the joke, but no, I want to come out now. I want to bring the kids out. This would be a lot of fun. Bruno, I had a blast. Thank you for your time. This was
Me too.
great.
Thank you. Thanks so much, brother.
Thanks again for coming on.